Hello, my Teaserking family. How are you today? Okay, I got sound this time. Okay, I hate repeating myself, but let's go back to the beginning. All right, hope everybody's well today. Don't be afraid with the gold price. It's paper gold. It went from 2180 to 2150 from like 9:30 to 10. It was the typical London hit. But keep in mind, it's paper gold, not physical gold. Nobody's selling physical gold now. There's no reason for gold to go down. There's too much demand for it. This is just paper gold. This is London and JP Morgan doing their final derivatives as they're just desperate to keep the price down. But the price went to 2150. Now it's back to 2165. I'll keep you posted during the thing. So I know we watch it, but it's paper. And we're dealing in physical. We're dealing in this. Pretend it's gold. And that's the difference. So when you see paper, even when it rises, we know physical is much higher, right? But that's paper gold. So don't be concerned. It should be going up. I'm surprised I didn't see any bank problems. It was March 11th, and all those interest rates are supposed to come due, and all these repos. And yet no news on any bank failures, which is, did they fail or did they just not report the news? This country is so corrupt right now that you don't know what to believe anyway. So not really sure. Sorry, I was looking. Greg John said I was freezing yesterday, but I could see I was still alive. So I continued with the broadcast. And at the first hour got in about 48 minutes. And it said 2 hours on my YouTube thing, but it's only 48 minutes. The rest just, I don't know if it was frozen. I think it was an internet connection. I see it on my Netflix. All of a sudden in the middle of watching the movie, I get the circle. So I think it's an internet issue. I don't know why, but I was still on and I was still able to talk and I could see my clock running normally. So I don't know, but I only got the first 48. So I'm going to redo the Attack on Wall Street. I put it all on one. So it's like 14 minutes, but I'll run breaks at each segment. Very informative, I thought, because it shows you how they just screw you over and they only want commissions, and how not to screw over somebody and to stay stoic and not laugh at them. He says, "Oh, I couldn't go to the Bahamas, and my wife did this, and but I've recovered. I'm sure you've recovered by now." And the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm penniless. I lost my wife. I lost my house. What the fuck are you talking about? So I'm going to kill you," which is what he did. So it shows to be stoic. You don't kind of make fun of people who, especially with money. So I will review that again. And, it takes a lot out of me to go 2.5, 3 hours. So that's why I didn't come back on last night. I took a nap and then I listened and I saw. So I did the Attack on Wall Street on my video, and then I will, we'll redo it here. I know Bobby wanted to watch it, so he'll enjoy it, but I can see my sound's working now. And thank you, Real D, for telling me that. I normally just hit built-in mic, and I normally have been getting the sound, so I didn't check it, unfortunately. But it's a pain in the ass because I hate to repeat it. So I was talking about my job strengths and weaknesses, and this is a weakness I have is to explain something and then it didn't record. I got to explain it again, and it becomes a little frustrating. Because I get into the groove, right? I'm in the zone, and then I gotta do it again. All right. So anyway, don't worry. Paper gold in the long run will be way ahead. I read some stuff on Bitcoin. It's not. They think it's money. It's not. They did it as a way to get out of the U.S. dollar, but you can't just make up your own currency. So it's funny. It's like It's like us. Oh, we'll have a currency. This will be worth $100, and we'll have 21 million of them. You can't do your own currency, bubbleheads. It's only, okay, so this class, this is the currency, or this is our currency. If you have a Bobby Bow card, it's worth $1,000, and da 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 da. It's only good within the class. It's not good in the public. Grocery stores aren't gonna take that. I know they should, Bobby, but they don't. And that's the thing. That's what Bitcoin is. It's in the group, people will trade it, but nobody will look at it seriously as money. It's not money. You can't just call something money. It's got to be accepted by everybody and used. And it's not accepted. If I go to Kroger's right now and get breakfast, it's not accepted. Or I go to Coney Island, it's not accepted. I was talking this story about yesterday. I don't know if it was on. I'm going to repeat it. So I'm at the Coney Island eating lunch after my haircut, and there's a table in front of me. There's a couple and a guy, and I don't know if he was waiting for his wife or what. And he's talking for 20 minutes, and it was pure vampire. He was talking about nothing. He was talking, but about nothing. And and I just thought to myself, there goes a vampire just rumbling and bumbling on about nothing. At least if we talk gold or we talk football, that's not vampiring. But if we talk about the sky is blue and the grass is green, it's vampiring. Oh, the weather. Oh, did you hear from George? How's Cindy? What's going on with Phil? That's who gives a fuck? That's vampiring. So the guy vampired for a half hour. So I finally was able to leave. But anyway, just an example of that. I get it at the club, in the pool, or like I said, I was talking to the lifeguard about gold. She's a friend of mine, although I don't know her name, but there's something going on at the pool. These lifeguards, they'll come up to me, "Hi, Howard." I don't know who the hell they are. Well, I know they're lifeguards, but I don't know their names, some of them. So they say hi, they're real friendly. And so we're talking gold because they know I'm with the gold. And some guy next to me, 5 feet away in the hot tub's going, can you leave the girl alone? Can you stop talking to her? And I totally got stoic on him and just ignored him. I didn't even look at him, didn't acknowledge him, just kept talking. In my mind, I'm going, who the fuck are you? And stop interfering with me, which is what I would have done before. I've done that where somebody interrupts and I'm going, who are you? What do you, and then they get into a fight. Stop talking to the girl. And I just ignored them. If you ignore a bully, they have no ammunition. They can't really keep going with you. So if you're talking and somebody tries to interfere that you don't, especially if you don't know them, even if you know them, but you don't even know who this is, like, why are you talking to me? Why are you interfering? If it's between me and my friend and we don't know you, why are you putting in your 2 cents? All right, so just a few stoic lessons. Let's look at free agency in the NFL, and then we're going to go to Attck on Wall Street. Kirk Cousins signs a 4-year, $45 million contract, $180 million, and with Atlanta. Now he's got the same injury Aaron Rodgers has, the Achilles, and I don't think he's a Greek god, so I don't know how he's going to recover from it. He's 36. He's done nothing. He's won nothing. I think he's won 1 playoff game against a bad team. Loses consistently. Isn't a real good quarterback. And you're going to give this guy $45 million because you say you can't find one, but yet there's Trask on Tampa, there's Hooker on Detroit, there's Stenson Benson on the Rams that you could trade for, and you got your quarterback much cheaper and much better than. See, the problem is It's like Bitcoin. You don't know what it is, so you think it's something, right? Oh, it's money. No, it isn't. It's digital gold. No, it isn't. It's just a game between people that they're saying, hey, let's make a currency of them. And that's all it is, really. And it's not backed by gold or anything. If it was backed by gold, I would respect Bitcoin, but it ain't. So here's Kirk Cousins. Are you fuck? So he's going to be 40 years old. The guy can't play now. He's going to be 40 years old. They don't see Trask is a very good quarterback, but they don't trust him because he hasn't played. Stenson Benson, Hayner on New Orleans. What do you got, Derek Carr? You got Hayner sitting there and you're not using Hayner? These coaches are incredibly stupid. They can't trust what they see in college. So if you haven't played in the NFL, they would rather have Blake Gabbert play because he's got experience, even though he sucks. He wasn't even a good college player. So I don't get really what they're doing. They seem to go to these running quarterbacks because of the too deep, the too deep zone, the safety, too deep safeties. So if you have a running quarterback, when they go back into their zones, there's an opening and you can run. Well, that's not what the quarterback's designed for. What are you fucking doing? Have a running back do that, and Atlanta's got him. So Atlanta, I think, a huge mistake, wasting $45 million on Cousins. Cousins, you had Jefferson. You don't got anybody near that on Atlanta. Drake London is not Jefferson. Kyle Pitts is not Jefferson. Hasn't shown anything. So again, a big mistake because they're too stupid to trade for that. That was my big contention with my Boise State guy and the Lions. Well, I can't remember his name. He's the offensive coordinator now at Kellen Moore. And nobody traded for him. Nobody, the Lions never used him. They had Stafford, and here's Kellen Moore, who was better than half the league, and yet nobody played him because they didn't know. Dallas played him. He threw for 400 yards, and then he broke his ankle in practice. That was the end of Kellen Moore. 400 yards, not a lot of people do that. So again, they're, like Bo Nix. So I'm reading first tier, Caleb, Drake May, and Daniels. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. First tier is Daniels, Bo Nix, and Penix. Second tier is Hartman and Caleb. And I thought there was one other. And then third tier is, but not JJ McCarthy. Why would you draft that guy? And what did he show you? And he's like the Ohio State quarterback. He sucks. And then you got Drake May. You want Kenny Pickett and you want Mitch Trubisky again? Take Drake May. He's Daniel Jones. He's, good luck with him. So whoever drafts him will be a mistake. Let's see. Aaron Jones reported he'll sign with the Vikings on a 1 year. God, yesterday he was signing with Dallas. So Aaron Jones goes to Minnesota. Green Bay let him go for Josh Jacobs. I think you're better with Aaron Jones. Russell Wilson's at Pittsburgh. Let's see. The Jets reportedly signed Tyrod Taylor. Really? So you got Aaron Rodgers, and now we got Tyrod Taylor, and then is the other Zach Wilson still there? The Eagles signed Shaquan Barkley. They let Swift go. All right, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So at least they recognize they need a running back, but they still need a quarterback in Hurts. The Giants, what are they? They got nothing. They got Daniel Jones. I mean, give me a break. They'll be lucky to win 3 games this year. Bengals released Joe Mixon. No big deal. I love when they say he ran for 1,000 yards. That used to mean something when there was a 12-game season. in the 60s. It was a big deal for a running back to get 1,000 yards. It's 17 games now. I mean, whippies, 1,000 yards is absolutely nothing in 17 games. Let's see. Baker Mayfield remains in Tampa. Big mistake there. Mac Jones gets traded to the Jaguars. How stupid are the Jaguars? What are you going to do with Mac Jones? What are you going to do with Trevor Lawrence? Now you got Mac Jones. Well, that's a big. Why would you trade anybody for Mac Jones? See, this is what I don't understand. The guy sucks. We all see he sucks, right? Nobody in class thinks he's good. What are you looking at, Jacksonville, that you're okay? Trevor Lawrence gets hurt. We got Mac Jones. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. So again, what the fuck? Chris Jones staying at Kansas City. All right. The Commanders signed my guy Eckler from San Diego. They got Kelly from UCLA, who looked really good, so they don't need Eckler. They got a salary cap problem, San Diego, with Khalil Mack and Bosa make like $18 million a year. Problem is Bosa's not worth it. He's always injured. So I would get rid of him. Khalil Mack I'd keep. The guy had 100 sacks last year. But you don't need – you can easily draft, and especially Harbaugh, he'll draft a Michigan guy or an Ohio State guy or somebody to play linebacker. You don't need Bosa. This is the problem. He just gets hurt all the time. Sorry, I need a guy who's going to play. Gardner Minshew goes to Oakland. What's Indy going to do? You got Richardson, who sucks. And now if he gets hurt, who's your backup? Unless they, well, I mean, they're going to be out of the draft. So Kirk Cousins is Atlanta, Russell Wilson's at Pittsburgh. And they just got Tyrod Taylor. But hopefully Aaron Rodgers, it would be nice to see Aaron Rodgers play. Gus Edwards went to San Diego. So San Diego gets rid of Eckler to Washington. And Gus Edwards goes from Baltimore to San Diego. So they get their fullback much cheaper. See, they pay these guys these big salaries, and then they can't sign them because the salary cap hits them. So they get rid of these good guys because they overpaid them. And there's always some sucker out there that, I'll take the guy. Poor guy's got to go to Washington. So the Vikings, what are the Vikings going to do for a quarterback? What's Dallas going to do for a quarterback? All right. So again, it's like listening to these idiot investors. Nobody likes gold. Buy these stocks, and then they wonder when they lose all their money because the stock market crashes. And that's what it is in football. It's like, why do you think it's Caleb Daniels and Drake May is your top tier quarterback and not Bo Nix and Penix? Are you fucking kidding me? And Hartman, right? So you got three guys who are better than the other. Well, Daniels, it's really four, right? Hartman, Bo Nix, Penix, and Daniels are the top four. Caleb, we question because of his heart. He runs around helter skelter in the typical, Oklahoma style, and that's the problem with Lincoln Riley. And it doesn't work. Is he different than Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray's pretty accurate. Jalen Hurts, look what happens when they blitz Jalen Hurts. He falls apart. So I don't know that he's any different than Jalen Hurts or Kyler Murray. And you want to draft him number one? And where the fuck's Drake May coming from? Did North Carolina win 5 games last year? He throws a lot of interceptions. He throws into coverage a lot. Oh, but he's got a big arm. Yeah, so does Josh Allen. Look how good he is. And this guy's nowhere near Josh Allen, and I don't think Josh Allen's all that good. Can't read a defense, can't handle a blitz. So this is where they're at. So whoever takes Drake May, probably Washington. I don't know. Who's got the first pick? The Bears. They'll go after Caleb, and they'll be bad for another 10 years. And then what are they going to do with Fields? I don't know. Anybody wants Fields because he's coming up on that next contract. You got to pay that guy $30 million. No chance. So I don't know what Fields does, if he's going to be the backup on the Bears to Caleb or what. Then they would leave Washington with Drake May. Now, if I'm the Bears, I draft either Penix or Bo Nix is who I should draft. Because I need a quarterback. I have a good receiver. I can then draft a good receiver 9 if I want to waste the receiver pick. Or I could draft Puka in the 3rd round like the Rams did. There's so many good receivers. You don't need to waste one in the 1st round. Oh, we'll get Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, okay. And how did Smith-Njigba do for Seattle? Did he have any catches? The guy sucked. All these Ohio State guys, I'm really questioning if they're any good at all. None of them really seem to show up. None of the quarterbacks do anyway. So I would probably either go with Daniels or Bo Nix or Penix. Any of those 3, you're fine. Drake May, you're better off with Fields. And then I guess what? Well, let's look at the draft order. All right. First pick is the Bears. And they need a quarterback. And they've been getting a lot of defensive free agents, which is worrisome because that means the other team doesn't want them. And you're going to make them better. So I don't know. I worry about that. Then you got Washington. They're not going with Thurston Howell III. So Washington, are they going to take Drake May? I'll bet you $1,000 to a nickel they take Drake May. New England, they need a quarterback. They'd be better off with a Bo Nix or a Penix. We'll see what they do. Maybe, they're not smart enough to take Daniels. Then Arizona, don't need a quarterback. San Diego, don't need a quarterback. The Giants, they're fucked. What do they do? Because they got Daniel Jones signed to like this 5-year, $40 million contract. What a waste that is. Hey, Greg and John. Just talking football for you, Greg and John. Yeah, you were right. It only recorded the first hour yesterday, so I am redoing some of the stuff that I talked about. I watched it, so I got to go back and do Attack on Wall Street, which I'm going to do after this. And I talked paper gold, so don't worry about the gold price going down. It's paper, not physical. They're still fucking around with the derivatives, but it's bounced back up. So hopefully we'll get back to 2170, 2180 today. So Washington, they have a terrible coach. What are they going to do? I love how they're now, the coaches are now like, what's his name? The Ram coach, McVay, or they're from the San Francisco. This is who we'll have because we'll run this offense. Yeah. And how, not very good, not very smart. And they think that that's going to win it. Oh, we got the San Francisco can never win, but we got theirs. And it's like Kansas City. You don't want their guys. It's Mahomes. In New England, it was Brady. And we went through all the Belichick coaches, and they all sucked. And Belichick sucked when he lost Brady. It's not, you got to get a good coach and stop going because he's from McVay or he's from Shanahan. Fucking grow up, man. That's not who they're good offense. So you want an offensive coordinator, take the guy, not a head coach. All right, so Washington needs a quarterback. So the Bears need a quarterback. Washington needs a quarterback. New England, Arizona, and the San Diego don't. Look for San Diego to get a good defensive player. Then we get to the Giants. What do they do with Daniel Jones? They've signed him to like 4 or 5 year, $35-40 million contract. The guy sucks. You'd rather have him injured than playing. He hurt his knee. He's all done running. He can't throw. You fucked up. You took Mitch Trubisky. How's that going? How's Drake May going to go? Because he's going to be the same crappy quarterback as the others. I don't know what Drake May appeal, and he's top tier. See, this is the problem. Who's saying he's top tier? What's the guy's background calling him top tier quarterback? He's not. He's not. I don't even think it was all ACC. I think the Florida State quarterback, Travis, is better. But we won't see him with his broken foot. That was just sad to see. Unfortunately, Gabriel's playing again, so that hurts. And then we got our Utah guy, who we're waiting on until next year. He's in his 7th year in college. It's hysterical. All right, anyway. So the Giants, what do? They're fucked. We're going to take a quarterback. Then what do they do with Jones? They're paying him too much to sit on the bench. So they got to go with Jones. Tennessee, they need a quarterback. They just drafted Will Levis last year. He sucks. So are they not going to take a quarterback? Atlanta has Kirk Cousins. And now we got the Bears with the number 9 pick. So they can draft Caleb 1, and then what do they do with 9? They probably need a more offense, running back or wide receiver or Brock Bowers. But Brock Bowers probably could go to Arizona or San Diego. San Diego would be a nice fit to get Brock Bowers. I'd be surprised if I can see Chicago, Washington, New England taking him. Arizona certainly could. San Diego absolutely should, but he might take a defensive player. The Giants, I think they have a tight end. Tennessee, he'd be good at, but they need a quarterback. He could go to Atlanta now that they've got that, but they got Kyle Pitts. The Bears, he'd be a good fit there, but I hate to see him go to the Bears. I'd rather see him go to like a real good team, like Kansas City or Cincinnati. So the Bears now can take another offensive player or a good defensive player. I hope they don't take an offensive lineman with the 9th pick. Then we get to the JETSs. Well, you got Tyrod Taylor. You got Aaron Rodgers. How healthy is Aaron Rodgers? Do you take the quarterback? You're going to be able to get Bo Nix, Penix, one of those two, or Hartman. So there's good quarterbacks to take because, Rodgers, well, he's normally pretty healthy, but he is 40 years old. You're going to need somebody. So I'd like to see them take Bo Nix or Penix. Minnesota, they will take whoever's left, Bo Nix or Penix or Hartman. Hartman would be good there, or Bo Nix would be good there. Denver, they need a quarterback. Oakland, they need a quarterback. So you get quarterbacks the first 3 picks, then not. Tennessee needs one. Atlanta doesn't, and the Bears won't. And then the Jets have Rodgers, so don't necessarily need one. And then you get Minnesota, Denver, and Oakland needing a quarterback. That will be Hartman, Penix, Bo Nix, should be gone. If you take the Michigan guy, you're in big trouble. And if you take Drake May, you're in big trouble. So why would you take the Michigan guy over Bo Nix, Penix, or Hartman? Are you out of your fucking mind? Did you not watch Hartman at Wake Forest? Are you fucking kidding me? Notre Dame had a terrible offensive coordinator, and they ran the ball a lot. But Hartman's much better. Hartman's an elite quarterback. I mean, you got to be fucking kidding me. So I would take him in a heartbeat. Minnesota, Denver, or Oakland, you'd be fine with Hartman. Not fine with McCarthy, and not fine with Drake May. McCarthy's not a winner. Didn't do anything. He barely played. They just ran the ball the whole time. You have no idea McCarthy. San Diego, you can have him. You want to draft, you got Herbert. You'd rather have McCarthy than Herbert? Yeah. And you'd be fired in 5 seconds, Harbaugh. So you got many, Denver, Oakland, needing a quarterback. New Orleans, what they should do is trade Derek Carr, and you got Hayner and play Hayner. Indianapolis, what are you going to do? You got Richardson. You happy with him? Is he going to play more than 3 games and get hurt again because he doesn't know how to slide? And he's going to keep running. He's not a quarterback. You're not going to win with him. So good luck. I don't know if there's quarterbacks available. You have Taylor running back. You need receivers. You need defense. You need a lot. Seattle, you need a quarterback. We'll see what's available. You don't need receivers and running backs. You need some defensive help. This will be interesting. Jacksonville, you don't need a quarterback. You need defense. You do need a quarterback, but you don't realize it. So you need maybe a receiver or defense. You should get defense. Cincinnati, man, I'd love to see Brock Bowers there. Now they should be able to get a good wide receiver for Joe Burrow, or get some defensive help for Joe. Maybe you need an offensive lineman. I don't know, but I wouldn't waste the 18th pick with it. The Rams don't need a quarterback. They got Stenson Benson in the wings. They got the receivers. They got the running back. Maybe you get some defensive help for Aaron Donald, but they looked pretty stacked last year. They were a pretty good team. Pittsburgh's got their quarterback in Russell Wilson. You've got your running. You've got your line. You've got your defense. Maybe you add another stud defensive player like a TJ Watt. Miami, you need a quarterback. You need a running back, and you need defense. So interesting. Philly, you need a quarterback. God knows you don't need defense. You need a defensive coordinator. You got 6 Georgia defensive players. You shouldn't be allowing 7 points a game. So I don't know what the fuck you're doing there. Terrible defensive coordinator. See, people will think it's the players. It's the quarterback. Look at the coach. You change coaches, all of a sudden you're a different team. That shows you how important a coach. Look at Seattle. They're going to fall. You had Coach Pete. Now you brought in the offensive coordinator from the University of Washington. Yeah, how's your defense going to be? Seattle should be an over team. So you're getting a lot more over teams because you bring in all these offensive type coaches who don't know how to coach defense. The defensive coordinators are so bad that we're going to see a lot of over, especially in college, but also in the pro. So again, Philly needs a quarterback. They really don't need defense. They picked up Saquon Barkley. They got the receivers. I don't know. Do you need an offensive lineman? I wouldn't waste with the 22nd pick. More defense? I mean, you got the defense. So it's really we need to draft a defensive coordinator. Houston, they need everything. They need a quarterback. They need defense. They need a wide receiver. But I hate to waste one in the 23rd pick. So probably a running back or a wide receiver for Houston. The quarterbacks will be gone pretty much by then. Dallas needs a quarterback, needs a running back, really doesn't need defense. They need a head coach. So, I mean, what can you say? They won't get rid of Dak Prescott. They won't win. It's as easy as that. Green Bay, they picked up somebody on defense. They need some more defense. They've got receivers, and they picked up Josh Jacobs. I don't know. He's not that good from Oakland. I would still go after a running back here. I don't know. Somebody said that the Oak State kid's staying in college another year. How about the Missouri running back? If he's available, I would jump on him in a heartbeat. He's very good. Tampa, you don't need a quarterback. you've got Trask, so they need some defense. They need a running back terribly. So either of those two positions. Arizona, what are you going to do with Kyler Murray? And then you need a running back, although I do like Connor. You need some receivers, and God knows you need defense. So who is Gardner Minshew? Gardner Minshew was the quarterback at Washington State, and he went to Jacksonville, and then last year he played for Indy. When Richardson got hurt, he quarterbacked like 12 or 13 games. He's okay. He's a backup at best, but he's pretty, like, you can win games with him. He's not great. He's not Penix or Bo Nix or Daniels, but he's okay, and he's played in the league, and he looked okay for Indy last year. But he's a Washington State guy from the Mike Leach, when Mike Leach was there. So Arizona needs defense. Buffalo needs defense. Detroit needs defense. Baltimore needs a quarterback, needs a running back, needs receivers, needs a offensive coordinator. Well, I think they got the Georgia one. So really they're needing a quarterback, Baltimore. The Niners are just stone cold. I mean, they're letting Eric Anderson, their defensive tackle, is really good. They just let him go. So if I was them, I would take some defense. You don't need receivers. You got McCaffrey. You got Purdy. At this stage, just grab whoever's good, a good defensive player, a Ronnie Lott, and somebody like that. KC, you need some receivers, probably 32nd pick. Maybe you take maybe some more defensive help. I don't know what they're doing. They signed Nick Jones, so I don't know what they're doing with Snead. Hopefully they'll keep him. But I got a feeling if they let Snead go, they got somebody else who's really good who maybe got injured or something. They're pretty solid. They got Mahomes, they got Kelsey, they got Pacheco, and a killer defense, and Spagnolia. See, the last thing I said is the key, Spagnolia, right? That's what's missing on a lot of teams. I would go after the Spagnola tree, right? I would get defensive coaches like him to win. Most of these teams suck in their defense. So if we go down the list, the Bears' defense sucked, but is getting better, I guess. Washington's terrible defense. New England was okay, but they lost Belichick. Arizona, no defense. San Diego, not much of a defensive team, but with Harbaugh, it will get better. See, it's the system. Harbaugh comes with the same players, and he'll do much better than the guy who was there last year. It's the same players. It's the coach. He plugs in the defense. The Giants need defensive help. Tennessee has Vrabel, who's the defensive guru, but now he's gone. Is Tennessee's defense going to be as strong? You bring in a coach who's out of the McVay tree. So, yeah, he's your offensive coordinator, not your fucking head coach. You're going to need help on defense. Atlanta, no defense. The Bears, we talked about. The Jets have a great defense, a great head coach who's a defensive coach from the 49er tree. So look for them to get some defensive help. It's all up to Aaron Rodgers. They got the running back. Maybe you add some line in the second and third round, offensive line. You got your defense. You got your defensive coordinator, who's your head coach. So it's all up to Aaron Rodgers plays. They're in the playoffs. I mean, again, anybody gets the injury, that's it. But the Jets, I mean, they're my team. They got Rodgers in the defense. Minnesota, their defense was getting better. It wasn't terrible. It was okay. Now they need a quarterback. Denver, their defense was decent. Loves Sean Payton, so it's just a matter of getting the right mix for him. He's like gutting all the players, and he'll sign all these new ones. So we give them another 4 or 5 games, and then we'll see what we have. Oakland, great defense. They added a defensive tackle. It's the stupidest move I've ever seen. You got Crosby. What do you need another defensive lineman for? You need You need a quarterback. You need running backs, especially when you got rid of your one running back. Although they don't, if they use Sincere McCormick, my guy from UTSA, he's a fantastic running back. I don't know what the fuck they're waiting for. So you got your running back if you use them, and then you got pretty strong defense. So now it's up to the quarterback, and it's going to be Garoppolo. New Orleans, pretty good offense. Olave, Kamara. You had a pretty good defense. You don't really need the defense. You really need to play Jake Haener at quarterback. Indy, big trouble. No defense, no quarterback. You got Taylor as your running back. So they need really help at quarterback and probably some defense. Seattle needs defense and a quarterback. Jacksonville needs defense and a quarterback. Cincy's got Joe Burrow. See, look at this is probably the only time Joe Burrow is picking 18th. You will never see Cincinnati not after 25 again with Joe Burrow. Look at Kansas City, 32nd, Frisco, 31, Baltimore, 30, Buffalo, 28. That's where Cincinnati's going to be, and you're giving them 18. They're going to get a real good player at 18. They probably need some help defensively. I mean, you got Burrow and Chase. You got a running back. I know they got rid of Mixon, but they got somebody else. So I would add, if you can get Brock Bowers, it'd be unbelievable. Another receiver for Burrow, maybe offensive line in the next 2 picks after this, and then some defensive stud. So maybe a defensive stud or a wide receiver here. Rams have it all. They need a little bit of defense. Pittsburgh's got the quarterback. They got the running back. They got the defense. They got to get rid of that wide receiver who won't block, because that is definitely hurting the team. How can you have a guy on it that says, well, it's not my job to block? Okay, fine. Go work at the grocery store. What the fuck? So Pittsburgh's pretty strong. Again, I think they need a new offensive coordinator who opens it up. Miami, huge hole, needs defense. Philadelphia needs a defensive coordinator. If Philadelphia had whatchamacallit, Spagnolia, they would have won the Super Bowl last year. So they need the defensive coordinator. Otherwise, they're set. They got 6 Georgia defensive players. Maybe you need a quarterback. Hurts is just terrible. They got Barkley, and you've got receivers. And I don't know, you got Kelsey retired. Who cares? Never heard of the guy before. I just heard of his brother. Now, oh, he's so good. I never heard of the guy. Houston needs defense, needs a quarterback, needs running back, needs a lot. Dallas needs a quarterback, strong defense, and they need a running back. Green Bay can use a little bit of defensive help. Otherwise, they look very strong. Tampa needs some defense, needs a running back. Arizona definitely needs defense. Buffalo needs defense. And Detroit needs defense. Baltimore's strong defensively, needs a quarterback. Frisco and KC, they're set. They don't need a defense. Then you get to round 2, and we start with Carolina. They were the worst team. See, Carolina's fucked. They don't even have a pick they gave their first round pick. I mean, they're out of there. What did they get last year for Chicago? So they traded their pick to Chicago for what? Chicago got DJ Moore. Oh, so Carolina got the first pick last year and wasted it on Steve Young. Bad move. So they don't get a pick, and you got the best quarterback draft and since '84 with Marino and Kelly and Elway. And here's what's Carolina? They need everything. Will they get a quarterback? No, they probably, because then they'll have to admit they made a mistake. New England, they're just, these teams are so well. Washington, yeah, so pretty bad. Look at San Diego, though. They got the 5th pick, the 37th pick. Could be promising for them. All right, I just wanted to talk first round, basically. So the quarterbacks, the one group, Bo Nix, Penix, Daniels and Hartman are your best 4 quarterbacks. Then you got Caleb and maybe the guy from Tulane. Travis would have been right there, Florida State. He ain't playing. The Missouri quarterback, I'm not sure if he's in the draft. He'd be right up there. He was really good. That's about it. And then I don't see J.J. McCarthy. If you draft him before the 5th round, you're out of your mind. Drake May, I wouldn't even draft. I don't, you know, you got Kenny Pickett and you got Mitch Trubisky. If you want those guys, you already got them. What do you want Drake May for? He's a loser. He's not good. I don't care what. It's not about how strong the arm is. It's about the brain. And is he a winner? And he's not. Fuck. Guy's terrible. Throws a lot of 50-50 balls. And in the NFL, they're all going to be intercepted. So I don't see what the big deal is about him. Well, he's a physical specimen. I want a quarterback. I don't want a physical specimen. Look at Richardson. Yeah, he played, 3 games, got hurt. And he's still got a bad shoulder. So can he even throw the ball now? All right. We are going to Attck on Wall Street now. Okay. I'm going to break it into 4 or 5 sections for you. This is 12 minutes long, but there's 3 or 4 sections. So we're going to do that. This is very critical because this is very real, even though it's a movie. Not the shooting, obviously, it's not real. But it might be when the stock market crashes and the dollar goes to 0, you might see Attck on Wall Street. They'll be at the Capitol in Washington a lot. All right, so let's go through the first segment. Okay, Attck on Wall Street, our favorite movie.
We have a real situation here. Our clients are about to jump ship. The problem is saving this company, not the clients, this company. We shifted $4 billion in deposits, which leaves us with until our clients figure out that we sold the worthless papers. But that room only buys us a few more weeks at best. I talked to Merrill. They said they'd insure the paper for 2 weeks, but they want $200 million to do it. 2 weeks. 2 weeks is nothing. We need 2 months at least now. It's time to triage. Time to dump the certificates on the market. All of them. Dump them. What about the pension fund investors? We're talking over $15 billion. That's not our problem. But if other houses follow suit, we can start a stand. Our priority is saving this house and fuck all the others. Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it. Investors gamble, they lose. That's the risk that they agree to take, is it not? They don't complain when they make money on the market. Why should they complain when they lose money on the market? Shit happens. Now dump it. Dump it all right fucking now. And after we dump the stocks, we're still far too exposed. We've got no parachute here. I'm going to take care of that.
Okay. So this is the way Wall Street works. This is the Ponzi scheme I warn you of. What does he say? Oh, nobody trusts them. He doesn't care. All he cares about is the firm and the shareholders. The people that bought the real estate trust, it's a gamble. They win. They don't complain. When they lose, fuck them. Well, they're not. This is not a gamble. This isn't. What you're doing is not. Not that it's not fair. It's not real. It's fixed. You're dumping this, and our friend loses 60 grand because you dumped it and you deleted and denoted it, whatever that means. And the problem is that he doesn't care about the customers. So the customers come in with money and they give it to him. They're not gambling. This isn't a casino. This is, give me something that has no risk or little risk. And here's real estate. You'll get 8 to 10%, as our friend will say in the next section. you'll get 8 to 10% and risk-free. Okay, good. I don't want to gamble. This is my retirement. I don't want to lose $60,000. I'm not here to risk it. I'm here to make some money, but without risk. So it should have been in gold and silver, as I always say. That's why I say it. You can't lose in gold and silver. Even this today, it's down a little, is paper gold. It's not the physical gold. That will never go down. It might, when it hits 50,000, it'll maybe some profit taking, but once everything's a gold standard, gold won't go down. Right? So he's saying, fuck the customers. He's saying, how about the pension people? They're going to lose their pensions. I don't care about them. Too bad. Because you shouldn't be, see, he's selling, like this is how stupid they are. Didn't you realize that real estate trusts are absolutely the worst thing to go in? Because in 1997, Clinton allowed anybody with any credit score to go in and buy and get a loan. Well, how are they going to pay it when interest rates go up? Because they're variable loans. You win at 2%, it's, you pay a $700 mortgage. It goes up to 4, now it's $1,100, and then it goes up to 6, and now it's $2,000. The people can't afford it. They could only afford the $500, $600 in the beginning. So this is the problem. So now he's saying dump it all, and the guy's like, but I care about the pension holders. Well, they just lost their pension because you fucked them, because you didn't realize what you were in, and now you see it going to shit because people can't pay their mortgages, and all you say is, oh, well. What the fuck is that? So with that said, you can see how the system works. It's about the firm, not about the individual. I care about you guys. I'm teaching you gold and silver and how to bet football. I want you to make money. I'm not going to pull the rug and say, well, fuck them. It's gambling and they win and we lose. And I don't ever want to lose, but I teach you to money manage and then to bet more on the stronger games that I pick. And see, I'm here for you. He's here for him. He's here for the firm. We'll make money selling this. We'll make the commissions. That's what it's about. That's what he says later in the show. It's for the commissions. This is what you're dealing with. So you want to trust Wall Street. You want to trust the banks. That's it. The banks are going to say, we don't give a fuck about you. We care about us. We're running a business. We don't care about our investors. Well, what the fuck do you want to be with them for? So that's your problem with the banks and Wall Street right there. All right, let's go on. We meet the bad guy.
Jim, what's going on? Sorry to tell you this, but your notes get delisted. What's that mean?
So the first guy delisted the note to sell it, and he gets fucked.
Investigation. This investment portfolio. It looks like a significant portion of your fund is already in the paper that is a little suspect. You don't know? No, I don't know what else right now.
You're my broker. It's what you do. It's what you get paid for. Did you put my money into anything suspicious?
Jim, I told you when we first met, I only invested in deals, but it seems that the firm itself is behind all this. Look, I can't really tell you anything else. This thing is a legal scandal. How is this possible? We'll just have to wait until the investigation is through. But it seems that your investment was good, as it should be, but then everything lost its value. The question is, did the firm have knowledge that your original investment was bad?
You just said you only deal in great deals.
I do. I'm the player here, and not the whole game. And do I look happy to you? You're not the only one hurting because of this. Your investment, my investment, the investments of a lot of unfortunate
people. You told me. You promised me I'll pay 8 to 10% of my investment guaranteed.
And that is what my firm told me. I searched it out, I did my research. My office manager told me to put my clients in this.
What else did you put money into?
That was backed by commercial real estate. And look, these look like great buildings. I checked the specs, I did the research. They look like they would be full capacity. Okay, but now they're sitting there.
Did you inspect these buildings? Did you inspect these properties?
The people that do all the research told me that this was the real deal.
So what do we do now?
We'll get some information regarding the investigation and I'm telling you, it's going to take a while.
Looking out the window, he's lying.
I've lost all my money.
Not necessarily. There's going to be some large lawsuits.
I just want my money back.
That's not how investment works. I mean, you've got to pay to play.
What bullshit.
This is my fucking life savings, you fuck.
I understand. And I feel your pain. Like you, I lost a lot of money too.
We don't give a fuck what you lost.
It's fine. It gives and it takes away.
Okay, so let's review that section. Okay, it's denoted. So you saw in the beginning, the guy said sell everything. So it wasn't delisted, it was sold before they lost everything, right? That was the opening scene, the guy from Home Alone saying sell everything. Well, fuck all our people. Well, that's who he's fucked, is our buddy. He lost 60 grand. They fucked him. That is not investing when you get fucked like that. That's the firm being retardo, having Home Alone guy who leaves his kid home alone for Christmas, running the firm the same way, and then, oh shit, we made a bad investment, let's sell it. And we don't care if our investors make money, lose money. That's their problem. They gamble. They didn't gamble. He said 8 to 10% guaranteed. Well, if it's guaranteed, then he shouldn't lose anything. Now, how naive are you to believe it's guaranteed is another story, because it ain't. Then you have, he doesn't know his job is. That's your job to look. And the guy lies and he says, I looked at everything, but my office manager told me something. He didn't look at anything. It'd be like me giving you, okay, let's bet Kansas City wins the Super Bowl. You're not looking at anything. You're taking my advice and you're betting on Kansas City to win the Super Bowl because I told you. And that's how it is. The guy told him, put it in the super fund, the real estate super fund, and that's what he did. He's just the salesman. So if I had salesmen and I say, okay, the pick's Kansas City to win the Super Bowl, then you would say, and you'd call up all the guys, like that Al Pacino movie, and you'd say, we're taking Kansas City. Well, you're not looking into anything. You're taking my analysis, and we're betting Kansas City. That's it. That's all we're doing here. So with that said, this guy's just a salesman. Our Attack on Wall Street guy is clueless of what the job and what the role of the broker is. It's to just sell from other people telling him to sell. And he's like, oh, you guaranteed. Well, that's naive. So there's two things going on here. The Attack on Wall Street guy doesn't understand the investment he made, that if people don't pay their mortgages, it's going to go to zero. Doesn't understand that. Maybe could have got out of it if you realize that it's happening. Two, he doesn't understand the job of the stockbroker is just to sell him. Three, the stockbroker starts lying, looking out the window, going, look, we all lost money. Then the stockbroker stoics him, or doesn't stoic him, vampires him by saying, well, it's an investment and we sometimes win, sometimes lose. No, you don't lose in a real estate trust. The people paying their mortgages, you should not be losing. You should not be giving that out because you should know that the real estate market is A lot of people, as interest rates go up, can't afford it. And we're in the same boat now. With inflation, interest rates will go up, and that'll hurt that. So, that's the problem with inflation. You need higher interest rates to loan the money out, or you're going to get fucked. You're going to get back inflated dollars. So this is the problem. So Attck on Wall Street guy doesn't know what he got into. He just lost 60 grand because he was too stupid to investigate. And he trusted some guy he apparently doesn't know, wasn't his friend, probably had no, I don't know where he got him from, got into something that he should never have gotten into and didn't know how to get out of, loses all his money. And, and the guy saying, well, it's, it's investing. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I specifically told you I have 60 grand that I can't lose. I don't want to lose it. I don't care if I just break even. I make 1%. Don't put me in something that's 8 to 12% and you're guaranteeing no risk. And then I have risk in it. And not only that, not like I lose a little, I lose the whole fucking thing because the owner of the firm said sell it all and didn't care about the investors who played the game. And it's all bullshit, right? They fucked the guy over. And the guy at the end says, well, all we did is do it for commissions. We got something that we can sell to you in real estate. You can make 8 to 12%. And all we care about is the commissions. And if it goes bad, we don't care. We're going to dump it all. And that's exactly what happened. So the Attck on Wall Street guy does his homework, talks to me. He put 60 grand in gold. It's now worth 110 grand. And he's going, I'm fine. All these people that got the real estate trust thought they were making 8%, all lost all their money. And, all the pension people. I mean, this is a lot of people that lost their money, not just our Attck guy. Again, the broker does not give a fuck about you. He only wants his commission. Do your homework, know what you're getting into and why and how to get out of it. You got to ask all these questions. And the last question is, why aren't you putting me in the gold? Well, we don't do gold. We don't get commission on it is the answer. So why do you even go to a broker or a financial planner? There's nothing to plan. You just buy gold and silver and buy some Mahomes cards and you're fine. You have no risk in the portfolio. Why do you want risk? Why do you want to listen to a broker? Why do you want to play with Wall Street? They're going to fuck you because they don't care about you. They only care about their commissions and only about their company being solvent. So you're fucking with the wrong people. And if you think you're going to make money and you think they care that you make money, no fucking way. And then what they'll do, if you do make money, let's say you bought Amazon and you made money on it and now you want to sell it. They're going to keep you in it. Oh, I got 2 or 3 other investments to go into. So they just keep you going, get the commission on the sale, get the commission on the new buy, but they keep you on the Titanic. They keep you in the market. And that you can't win with. You'll never win. There's always going to be a 2008. Here it comes to 2024. It's going to make 1929 look like a picnic. And it's going to make 2008 look like a picnic. What's going to happen here is going to be disaster. And then people think, well, we recovered from 1929 and we recovered from 2008 and 2000 and 1987. We recovered, but this is different because now you have this debt that you got to pay for. You've inflated the money to zero, where you started your inflation in 71 when you got off the gold standard. But you had such a big cushion from the gold standard we were on from 44 to 70. And now all these wars that we're paying for, this is disaster. So you got to see what's coming. The iceberg's already been hit, right? So you got to understand that part of the equation. The iceberg's been hit. Now we're going, now the water's starting to come in. So you can stay in the stock market or in the banks But keep in mind, that's not the boat to be in. Gold and silver, what's your risk? What's your risk? Tell me your risk. Physical gold, you're going to go to zero? No. Jewelry, be careful with, because it's 18 karat, means it's only 18 carats of the ounce. So it's going to be an ounce. Let's say the ounce is $2,000. This, for example, is only worth $1,500. Even though gold's at 2,000, it's not an ounce of gold. It's 18 carats of it is gold. So 3/4 of this is real gold. The other quarter is zinc and copper and other materials to strengthen it. And you're paying for the artist and all that. So I don't care. Whoever designed it, I'm not getting value from them. I'm only getting value for the gold. So be careful with jewelry. Buy coins or the blocks. Don't buy the jewelry. Okay. Let's go to the next segment.
Jim Baxford. Hey, it's good.
It's Jim Baxford, my buddy.
Hope you recovered from that little financial disaster.
Here he's rubbing salt in the wounds.
I'm getting there.
I recovered from when you fucked me over, yes.
I told my wife we couldn't vacation in Barbados. She tore a strip off me the size of Long Island. But things get better, right?
Right. So everyone keeps telling me.
Trust me, it's true.
See, look how he looked away. He's lying. Our attack guy is looking away. He's lying, right?
There we go. I got a couple of investment ideas you might be interested in.
Oh, yeah, I love your investments. You're going to steal all my money again?
Call me.
Thank you, Greg and John. Okay, now we move to the good part. So what happened there, real quickly, he sees the guy, and the guy's like, oh, yeah, I know I fucked you over. Like, the guy doesn't know he cost him 60 grand. Why would you even talk to this? Oh, yeah, I got investment ideas. Yeah, I saw the idea you have. It's like going with the handicapper, and he goes 0-10. But I got good picks this week, and you're going, fuck you. I wouldn't go with you, or just any type of investment type or advice type of people. If it doesn't work, you don't really want to go with them, right? So he loses all his money. What do I guard against? I guard you against losing all your money by money managing. What's your bankroll? So his bankroll was 60 grand, and he blew it all. And my point would be, if I had 60 grand, I'd play 600 a game very gently, and 1,000 or 1,500 on the locks, and make your 60 go to 70. That's how I would do. I wouldn't want him to bet all 60 on one game, and he could lose it all. Again, I want him to win. I want him to be a winner. This guy took all his money, and it's gone. And now he ignores it. Like, oh, I got more investments for you. I'm sure you're doing well. He didn't even say, how are you doing? Are you okay? There's no remorse. I'm really sorry you lost your money. I hope you got it back. I can really help you. No remorse at all. Like trying to sell him again. Oh, I got a few investments. So be leery of that. If the guy fucks you over, why would I go back? If your girlfriend cheats on you and you don't like it, then why would you keep dating your girlfriend if she's cheating on you and you don't like it, right? If you like it, that's another story. But if she cheats on you and you don't like it, then you leave her because you don't want to be with somebody who cheats on you. That's the only thing I care about, is don't lie to me. That's the secret button on mine, is don't lie to me, because that's disrespectful. That means you don't trust me. You can tell me anything and I'm fine with it. But if you lie to me, then it's a respect issue. And if you don't respect me, then I don't have anything to do with you. All right, let's go to the next part. This guy's dumb enough to show up for a lunch meeting, unsuspecting. And in the ultimate revenge game, pretty neat camera trick. So in the ultimate revenge game, he gets his revenge. You cost me my wife. You cost me my house. You cost me $60,000. I had to pay 10 grand to an attorney. I get revenge. You laugh at me. You lose my money and say, oh, it's investing. We win and lose. That's gambling. That's not investing. Investing, you should never lose. Now there's forms of investing you could lose. Well, just buy this card. You want to invest, buy this card. You won't lose. You can't lose with it, right? So that's the point of it. Just that's revenge. See, he didn't stoic him. He vampired him, saying, I couldn't go to Barbados, and I'm sure I got 2 more investment ideas. And the guy's sitting there like, I'm going to kill you now because you're sitting there. You got more. You want me to put more money in with you and call it's just an investment and we win and we lose? Who's with somebody to lose? What are you kidding me? You don't invest in stocks and bonds to lose. But what you don't realize is if you're in the bank, let's say, and you got 100 grand, you got it in a money market, which you think is safe at 5%. What you're missing is the dollar has no value. So it's 100 grand now goes down to 0. That's the part people don't understand. This the money you have in the bank's going to 0. All your investments are in money are going to 0 because they're in money. And it's going to happen. All right. So revenge, number 1. Now he gets revenge on the guy who denoted him. Again, you see a guy in a white mask, probably want to run the other way. Greg and John, am I frozen or am I still okay? Again, I see it that it's okay, but I don't know.
Whatever it is you want, this is not the way to get it.
Take a fucking seat. Right there.
Again, you see a guy in a white mask, it's not Halloween, you probably want to run the other way.
I don't know who it is you think I am. But
See, again, he's disrespecting him.
not with anything.
You don't know who I am. Bullshit. He knows exactly who you are.
Always has a getaway plan. And by the way, I know exactly who you are. You're the guy that fucks everyday people in the ass and can flirt around in New York and not sitting in your fucking house in the Hamptons. Booking tennis lessons from the penthouse overlooking Central Park.
How do you know all this?
They're watching you. The problem with guys like you is you can't stop bragging. So when the rest of the world is suffering, you're making sure that every magazine in the country.
See, he's being a vampire. He's not being stoic.
There are people that derive inspiration from success stories. Maybe you do all the same things I've done if you had the opportunity.
No, wouldn't sell bad loads to small ones.
He's a scammer. He's Madoff.
Make yourself real cash-based and fabricated non-existent loans. You book the books.
And then you call it investing, right? Oh, why did I lose?
The question is, why should I let you live? You're a salesman, right? Sell me.
So, there's not a person on this earth that's worth over 100.
This is how he sells them?
They came by that money, honestly. Why don't you take a look at the old money, the Vanderbilts, the Carnegies, the Giddys, the Morgans, the Hearsts, the Rockefellers. They think they got all the money. You just annexed territories and licenses and businesses and killed the native population and imported slaves and sold guns to both the North and the South during the Civil War and controlled the politicians. And they're heroes. They're American heroes.
If you look how smart our attack guy is, he knows the cops are coming, and so he plans for the cops to come.
Teach our children honesty, hard work, and keys to success. My children are not going to go off some more. They're not going to get it. They're going to go Harvard.
Wouldn't brag about those schools.
White trash kids, black ghetto kids. They're going to fight America's senseless performers. But they're going to protect American security and businesses. And it's going to be my business. My business is going to get richer and richer. And my bonuses are going to get bigger and bigger. And it's the same old story. It's the bankers and the owners and the advisors who get rich. And it's the little people who buy their stock that always lose in the end. To people like you.
Some people don't go. People like me.
It's a free trade system, my friend. It's capitalism.
This is not capitalism. Capitalism is free trade. Where you're trading sound goods for money.
Like her. It's my wife you're looking at. She's dead because of you.
I don't know you. I have never
See, no compassion, right?
You know about the real estate growth superfund, don't you?
That's where you put your money.
The company sold it to me for the commissions.
See, just for the commissions, not to make you money. It's a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme.
You like competition?
I love competition.
You want to play a little free market competition? Just you and me?
You and me?
This isn't really free market. It is competition, but not really free market.
Where it lives. Three. 1, 2.
Wow. You hear how I came out on top? Sure, that's what you don't understand. That's not what's important. What's important is that I won. It doesn't matter how I won. You're dead.
See, look how easily he would kill him.
Connor! Get him out of here! Target located and eliminated.
We have a real situation here. Our clients are about to jump ship.
So, first of all, that isn't capitalism. Free market capitalism is I give you the Mahomes card, you give me gold. So let's say it's worth 5,000, gold's at 2,100. Well, let's check. Let's say 2,200. So you give me 2 ounces of gold, which is approximately 4,600, and you get the Mahomes card. That's free market. We both get something for it. You get the card, I get the money. What he's doing is not free market capitalism because he's not giving him the money. Or he's not, I'm giving you the money, but you're not giving me the Mahomes card. You're giving me a fake Mahomes card. And when it goes belly up, you say, sorry, dump all the fake cards. Well, wait, I gave you money for the card. I gave you money for the real estate trust that was supposed to be AAA rated. You gave me something that was not AAA rated. That's why it's bullshit, and that's why it's a Ponzi scheme. I'm giving you money for something. You know, I give you money for the Mahomes card, but you're not giving me the Mahomes card. You're giving me a fake, or you're not giving me this card. And that's why you don't put your money in ETFs, because they're selling it to you as you're buying, I guess that you're buying gold, but you're not. You'll never get the gold out of an ETF. The ETF will simply be electric transfer funds, ETF, electric transfer funds. And you're buying it based on the gold price. But if they're trying to make it sound like you're buying physical gold, but you're not. I mean, indirectly, you're buying physical gold. The value of it'd be like me selling you this. Well, we'll do an ETF on Mahomes. You don't actually get the card, but it's based on the physical price of the card. So the card goes up, you make money on the ETF, but we sell it like you're getting money on the physical card as if you're going to get the card. Well, you're never going to get the card. That's what an ETF. You'll never get this, but the value of the card going up is what you'll get, the value of this going up. And that's what it is with gold. They base it on the physical price, but they sell it as if you're going to get the gold. Oh, I'll buy 100 ounces. You'll never get the gold in an ETF. That's why you have to buy physical. That's where you win, is the physical price. And again, I'm not going to mislead you into saying, well, buy the ETFs or buy the stock. You don't need to buy the physical. Well, you're going to get fucked, because when the gold goes up, only the physical, because that's what's going to be money, not the ETF. But that's free market capitalism. Okay, let's see what gold's doing now that it's 12:30. And did we recover? Well, we're still at 2162, but we went from 2181 near 10 o'clock to the 10 o'clock drop 2153. We dropped $30 at 10 o'clock, and we came back 10. So we're at 2162. But it looks like the bleeding stopped. Now in the afternoon, it can go back into the 2170s. I kind of had a inclination that it ran so high so fast, there would be pullback, but this is paper. Remember, silver's 24.21. Again, it's paper. So don't worry about it. It's paper. You'll worry about, that's why we have physical. It protects you. You can't lose with physical because everything's going on the BRICS country. Now, why we're not hearing about these banks getting these interest rates raised, this I don't know. It could just be to keep it quiet so there's no panic. In other words, we're on the Titanic and the water's coming in. We know the boat's going to sink if we're running the boat, but we don't want the passengers to that. So we're not going to tell them, yeah, let's let them all drown. We don't care. So again, the free market. So what the guy, Attack on Wall Street guy, thinks he's paying 60 grand for this card is not getting this card. He's getting this card, but not Mahomes. He's getting somebody else. And then, it lost. It went to zero because the firm dumped it. They're like, we just need to get out of it. And that's what's going to happen in the stock market and the banks and the housing market when all the foreigners, again, you got 130, 140 trillion dollars of US dollars outside of the US and all these other countries. And when they realize the dollar's going out, they're going to sell them all. They're going to try to get out of them because now the survival instinct takes in, and they realize that they're scared of the dollar dropping. And when that happens, they sell it. And once it starts being sold, it gets sold everywhere. And all the stock market drops, the housing market drops. The banks start going out because they start pulling their money because they think the US dollar is the safe haven because it's the reserve currency. But they're wrong. You got idiots printing the money right, left, and indifferent. So anyway, please tell me, Greg and John, if I'm frozen again. I have no way of knowing. I see I'm moving and my clock's moving. Like yesterday, I didn't know I was. You told me, and then you were right. So let's just keep an eye on that for me. Otherwise, I don't know why. I mean, my mic wasn't working. Now it's working. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Anyway, so that's what's going to happen. So when the housing crisis, you saw what the firms did, right? You see the Big Short, and you see margin call, and you see here. What did they do? They dumped it to get solvent. So they dumped all of them, delisted them. In all three of the movies, it's the same thing. The real estate trust, if they only work if people are paying their mortgage. But because you've let people in who shouldn't be paying their mortgage in, right? People that can't afford it should not be getting mortgages. But since you let them in, now you have total chaos because these guys shouldn't be in it in the first place that are in it. And then everybody dumps, right? Oh, what did they do? Margin call. Oh, let's dump. And that's what's going to happen here. So everybody's going to get out of dollars, and they're just going to dump their stocks and dump their real estate and dump the money in the banks and bring it back. They're going to get out of US dollars. And there's 130 trillion US dollars, but it's not all in banks. It's not all in real estate. It's not all in stock, but between the three of them is where it's at. So that's really the problem. So keep that in mind. Just like the real estate, I mean, you saw it coming in 2007, but it didn't actually happen until 2008. And that's what's happening now. It's all going to collapse because people will pull their money out when they get scared. But that's why you have all this bullshit. Oh, inflation's only 2%. We're fine because everybody knows inflation kills the money. But they're going to keep playing everything. Inflation's 2%, whatever. They can say what they want. We all know it's 20. And it's all going to get dumped. That's why I've got you out of the stock market. I've got you out of the banks and into gold. So when that happens, we're just going to be sitting there going, it's about time, gold. What took gold so long to get to 20,000 an ounce? That's what that's the game we're playing. We cannot lose in our game because gold can't go to zero. And the dollar is going to zero, as is the stock market. We know that's happening. People are trying to go to safe haven in Bitcoin, as you say. Normally what's happening in Bitcoin are these big whales are putting all their money into Bitcoin as a roost with BlackRock and JP Morgan. And guess who's going to make all the money? And then it's going to fall. In the next few weeks, you'll see it at 40,000 and you'll realize that it was another Ponzi scheme. They got in, it jumped up, and then they sold it just like Blue Star, like North Carolina or whatever. So I wanted to get that out because it's even though it's a movie, it's really true. That's exactly what they do. You got 3 movies of the same thing. Let's dump it, and we got to save the firm. I'm not sure that you can save the firm. If I start picking 10% of my games, I'm not sure I'll get another customer, right? How can I get another customer? Right? If I can't pick a game, why would you want my advice on football? Gold and silver is different, but I mean, so that's the point of it, right? So that's why I show you my picks, and you go, "Wow, this guy knows what he's doing." One of the 5 people in the world that actually know how to pick football games, and that's what you gotta see. So what we're doing is protection. A, from the dollar going to zero, which it's already at. B, oh, well, how could the dollar go to zero? What are you talking about? Or what do you mean it's at zero? I can still go to the grocery store, go to the restaurant and use it because they have to. As long as people will take the dollar, then it will have a value, but really it doesn't. And when it finally goes to where nobody gives it a value, that's when it's worthless. So you can wait for that, or you can get out now, get into gold and silver, keep enough money to pay a little bit of bills, but don't leave 100 grand in the bank. You're better off with 100 grand in gold and silver. You can't lose in gold and silver because it can't be printed. That's the key. Printing the dollar makes it worthless, right? You printed $10 trillion, that ain't worth anything. But when it gets to gold and silver, you can't print it. It's what comes out of the ground and is only limited to so much. And that's it. And now it's just being bought because everybody, all central banks, Russia, China, India are all buying it hand over fist. They know it. That's why COMEX has to get out. So what's going on with COMEX today is probably the last script. We'll probably hear it on Mark McGuire or Egon or somebody at the end of the week saying, oh, this is what happened. Outside of that, not really sure. It's just a matter of when. But still, even though it went down, it was 2180, went down to 2150, now back to 2163. So even with this push down, it's still fighting back to 2160 because people are, what's happening is central banks are seeing that drop and they're like giddy going, good, let me buy it, because they have to sell it to them at that price. So even though it's knocked down to 2150, here comes central banks, all over the world going, okay, I want to buy it now, and you have to deliver it to me. That's why it's hard for COMEX to stay on gold, because they have to deliver it. Before they didn't, like silver, you don't have to deliver it. Gold, you must deliver it. So if you're sitting there at 2153, okay, fine, I want to buy it. You have to sell it to them. You have to come up with the physical. And as the physical is being depleted and there's less and less physical out there, you're not going to be able to keep doing these derivatives because, hey, you need the gold to pay it, because Russia and China are knocking on the door going, I want it at 2153. Because I know I'm going to set the BRICS gold-backed currency price at $10,000 an ounce. So I'll take all the 2150s you can give me. And see, that's the difference. They must deliver, and these countries know that the dollar's gone and they want to, wars are expensive. We just keep having all these wars, but they know the dollar's gone, and they know they're coming out with the gold-backed currency at a much higher price. So they know this. So it's a no-brainer, and they have to give it to them. So it's not like before where they didn't have to deliver. Now they have to deliver. So if China says, I want it at 2153, you got to, they buy 10 tons, you got to deliver 10 tons or whatever the contract says. So again, it's a real bad system that's been set up that needs to be blown up, just like the college football 2-team playoff or even 4-team playoff needs to be blown up. And I'm not sure 12 is the right number either. And, I don't like, the Big Ten will have 5 teams, and the SEC will have 5 teams, and then there'll be 2 at larges or something. Well, that's not the point of it either. Each division should go to the playoff, and then the other. Florida State got fucked. Who cares about the injury? When does the injury matter? And Georgia got fucked. So should have been 8 teams this year. Oregon got fucked. So you had 4, you didn't have the best 4, right? You didn't. I give you Texas. I don't give you Michigan. I give you Alabama because they beat Georgia, but Georgia should have been in it. Washington, yeah, but Oregon should have been in it too. So really, Michigan's a false where they didn't beat Georgia or Oregon. So I don't consider them national title. I see a kid at the pool wearing Michigan, 2024 national champs. And I'm like, no, sorry, they didn't deserve it. They didn't, they had the weakest schedule I've ever seen. When I can't figure out a team and we're in week 13, they're playing Ohio State, and I still haven't figured out how good Michigan is yet. They haven't played anybody. At least Ohio State played Notre Dame, and they had played Penn State. So at least you kind of had an idea on Ohio State. That's how bad it is. This NIL is just killing it. I mean, you're only going to have real good teams or real bad teams. Nobody's going to watch. Am I going to watch Michigan play Rutgers or Michigan play Indiana or Minnesota? No, I could give a shit. I'm not going to watch and Michigan just ran the ball. So why would you think this McCarthy guy's any good? He might be very good, but that's not what I saw. I saw a guy who couldn't complete medium passes, couldn't read a blitz, and runs too much. So again, going to the guy who can run because they'll play a 2-deep zone. Okay. And then how long will it take till he gets hurt? But I'm not betting on that guy. That'll be a bet against for sure. look, Lamar's got a lot more running skills than him. Passing skills, no. But Daniels, I think, is the best blend. But Bo Nix is the best quarterback. I think Bo Nix and Penix are the best quarterbacks. Daniels is the best dual quarterback. And Hartman also is the best quarterback in the pocket, hitting the receiver, 25 yards, spotting him, picking up the blitz. Hartman, Bo Nix, and Penix are the top three. Daniels, I'm not sure of in that role, but he is very good in dual. We saw him in dual, very hard to tackle, but he's accurate. And Caleb, all I can say, he's a crybaby. That I saw, he cried, but I don't know. I saw him lose a lot of games. He scrambles around, I don't know. It's hard to say in college when they scramble around that they're good. Field scrambles around too. So does Josh Allen. Doesn't mean they're any good. And then Drake May, I don't understand Drake. What did he do? He's not. What is he? Is he a pocket passer? I don't know. Does he run? I don't. North Carolina won 5 games. I don't know. He's that good. All right. I'm going to go swim. I'm going to have a quick dinner, and I will be back after. So it's almost 1 o'clock, 12:46. So I will be back at probably about 2 hours. So that's what, 2:46, 3 o'clock. I'll be back for part 2. I know Greg and John asked me if I do 2 shows. This is because yesterday's show, we missed the second hour, and I was too tired to redo it. So I'm doing that. Quick bite, swim, and I'll be back. All right, everybody. Have a good day. www.teaserking.com. I will see you about 3-ish. Okay, take care.